In this video, I'm going to show you with a couple of examples how to use BioEdit to assemble your forward and reverse reads, assuming that you've already trimmed them with Finch TV. Now, if you didn't get a chance to completely trim all of your sequences from the DNA trace files, then you can go ahead and use mine. So what I've done, I've created a zip file containing all of the sequences that I trimmed that can be downloaded from my website. So go to antigen.uhhc.edu/module/barcoding. And the second zip file will contain the sequences that I trimmed. So right mouse click on that zip file, click on Save Link As, and then make sure it's going to the desktop and click on Save. Once it's fully downloaded, I'm going to minimize my browser. And then for this example, we're going to have to extract all of the sequences from this zipped file. So go ahead and right mouse click on it. Then select Extract All. Click on Extract. And here are our sequences, all the .seq files that I created. So what we are going to need to do is open up BioEdit, import our .seq files that we exported from Finch TV, and then assemble the forward and reverse sequences. So first, let's open BioEdit by double-clicking on the icon. So we need to first create what's called an alignment project. So let's go ahead and click on the little icon that looks like a sheet of paper. Once we've opened up our new alignment, now we need to import the sequences that we want to assemble. That can be easily done. So if we go to File, go to Import, Sequence Alignment, and now we need to navigate to the folder that contains our trim sequences. So if you go to Desktop, and then click on Trimmed Reads, you'll see nothing there, which is to be expected because what it is expecting to find are files that end in .gbk, .gen, .gb, .gnk. So in order to see our files, we need to change this. So if you click on the drop down box, you should see an option that says All Files, ***. So you click on that. Now we can see all of the files that we exported from Finch TV. So let's go ahead and let's assemble Moth in this example. So instead of importing one sequence at a time, let's go ahead and import both the forward and the reverse at the same time. So if you scroll through, we can see Moth forward is here. So I can hold the control button and click. Now that file is highlighted. So let's go ahead and find the second Moth file. Hold down the control button and click. And now the second file is now ready to be imported into our alignment file. Click Open, and here we see both our sequences. In the left column, we see the name of the sequence, and to the right, we see the DNA sequence associated with that name. So these two sequences are not assembled yet. We have to do that with a program called Cap3. So let's click on Accessory Application at the top, and let's navigate to where it says Cap Config Assembly Program. Click on it and go ahead and accept the default values. Go ahead and click Run Application. You'll notice that this DOS prompt does not disappear, so go ahead and click the X button. When that DOS prompt is gone, you will see a new alignment window open up, and you'll see the two original sequences that were imported, and you'll see the new sequence, the config. Now if we expand this, you notice that the sequence on the bottom is now the assembly or the agreement between both the forward strand and the reverse strand. So we no longer want the forward or the reverse strand. We want this config. Now config is short for contiguous, from contiguous sequence. So in order to remove those sequences, we can right mouse click on that sequence. Once the window opens, select Delete Sequences, and it's gone. Before I delete the rest of the sequence, we ought to rename this config correctly. So if you click on the left in this column, the name config-0 will highlight. If you click on it again, it should highlight in blue, allowing us now to edit it. I can hit backspace to eliminate all of the text, and then I'll type in moth, for example. When I hit enter, that is now saved. So I right mouse click on the reverse strand. I can then delete it. So now all we have is the moth contiguous sequence. So now let's save this guy. So go to File, go to Save As, and we need to create a folder for our assembled data. So let's go ahead and create a new folder. So at the top, where you see a folder and a little star, click on Create New Folder, and let's call this Assembly. Okay. Now open the folder, and for the name of our file, let's call it Moth, and the file type should be set to FASTA. If it's not, go ahead and change it to that FASTA. Click the drop down box and select FASTA. Now click Save, and now we've saved our sequence. It's that simple. So now that I've shown you one example of how to assemble a forward and reverse strand, let's go ahead and do another example of assembly. But with this example, I specifically want to show you what the praying mantis data will look like. So again, click on the new alignment button. Now go ahead and click on File, and we want to select Import and select Sequence Alignment File. Now again, we have to navigate back to the folder where we have our trimmed sequences. So click on Desktop, click on Trimmed Reads, go to the drop down box at the bottom, change this to All Files, which will be located at the very bottom. Now select Praying Right. If you hold down the control button and then left mouse click, it will highlight. And then find the second file for the praying mantis, hold down the control button and left mouse click, and now those two files are highlighted. Now if we open, those two files will be imported into BioEdit. Again, to assemble them, go ahead and click on Accessory Application, scroll down to Cap Config Assembly Program, click on it, click Run Application, close the DOS window, and here we see we have two contigs. Okay, so what happened here? What this is saying is that there's absolutely no space or no region between these two sequences that it could possibly combine them to, couldn't join them, couldn't assemble them. What this says to us is that we need to eliminate the praying mantis data set or data from our data set so that we don't contaminate our data. It's just not and we saw earlier in the DNA trace file that the peaks weren't high enough and the confidence values weren't high enough, which then indicated to us that there may be a lot of falsely called base pair or nucleotides within the sequence. So the praying mantis data needs to be eliminated. So this is what will happen if you had two sequences that did not assemble. So now that I've shown you how to assemble sequences using BioEdit, go ahead and continue assembling the rest of the sequences that are in the in this trimmed reads file.